So we call this card trick Feel the Heat. And I'll show you why here in a second. Because that's how we're going to find the card. We're going to feel the heat off of your brain waves. I know it sounds painful, but it's not. Don't worry. We're just going to use a shuffled deck. They can shuffle the cards, by the way, for this trick. They have full control and free choice throughout the whole trick. It's kind of great. Okay, so you take a shuffle deck, and here's what I want my spectator to do. Once they're shuffled to your liking, like this, I'm going to have you just make 3 piles. Okay, so they'll take the deck, and they'll put it in 3 piles. It doesn't have to be perfect, but try and get them as even as you can. Then we have 3 piles of cards. What I'd like you to do now is, if you want to mix them up, you can. You can change the position. In other words, you can do this, whatever you want to do. We can mix up the cards like this. Up to you. Okay. Next, what I want you to do is just point to one, and the pile that you point to, that's the packet you're going to select a card from. Completely free choice. Let's say they choose this one, and they take a card out of it. They can choose any one, by the way. Again, it's completely fair. So they will have selected a card. You will not see it. They will. For the sake of this video, I'm going to show it to you, but they would not. You would not see that card. They would know it. The only ones that would know it. Now I'm going to give you some more choices to make. You've got a card memorized, hopefully. What I'd like you to do is place that card on top of any one of these 3 packets. It doesn't matter which one you want, but you have, again, a choice of doing that. And let's say they put it right here, okay? So this is the packet you want it to be on. You can change your mind if you want to. No, you want it there, okay. Now let's cut it into the pile so that we lose it. And now, what I'd like you to do is reassemble the deck any way you want to. This can go on top of there, that there, however you want to do it. They can reassemble the deck. Let's just say they do it like this. We're done. Now, hopefully you remember your card. Because when you're thinking about your card, it's my job to try and figure out what you're thinking. But when you think about your card and you see your card at the same time, very few people know this, but it gives off sort of a mental heat. And I'm going to try and pick up on that heat. So I'm going to spread the deck, and I want you to look at your card, but don't let me see you seeing your card. It's somewhere in the deck, right? And I'm going to look away, and you can look away. You can see it. And I'm going to try and feel. I'm not even going to look at the deck so much as feel the heat that comes off of this deck. Because if you are thinking of your card, and you've seen it too, it really does give off a certain sort of heat. So this part of the deck is completely cold, and so is this. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. But when I get to the middle of the deck, somewhere in here, there is a card that just gives off a lot of intense heat right in here. Are you thinking of it? Because I'm going to put my hand down, I think right here. I think my hand is over your card. Because you're thinking of a card, I can tell that it's red, because red gives off even more heat. So you're really giving off a really strong red heart. A red heart. Is your card a red heart? Yeah, it has to be. Because I'm sensing that. It's even a lucky number. I think your card was a 7 of hearts, wasn't it? Let me see. Right there, the 7 of hearts really stood out. Okay. All right. Just kind of a fun way to reveal a freely selected card. Did I mention that? Only about 20 times. Let me show you how this works. So it's so simple. It's really simple. So again, you start with a shuffle deck, blah, blah, blah. You can do all this. We don't have to keep shuffling the deck forever for this video. All I need to know is one thing. I need to know the bottom card of the deck. I just looked at it right there. As I was shuffling and talking to you, I'm going to remember the 3 of clubs. That's called a key card. You're familiar with the key card principle. This is a really cool way to use a key card because it's confusing. Because there's so many decisions that the spectator makes. They just can't keep track of how you would ever connect any of the dots, right? But all we're doing is we're keeping track of one card, that key card, and it's real easy to do. Because once we've shuffled the deck, and we make a big deal about that because obviously a shuffled deck is fair to work with because they're going to pull a card that they want out of the middle of the deck. But I'm remembering the bottom card, 3 of clubs in my case. When they split the deck into 3 piles, it doesn't matter because I am always aware of that 3 of clubs. And this can go a number of ways, but it doesn't matter as long as I keep track of that card. If they change the piles like this, that doesn't matter to me. I'm going to remember this pile and this card, right? Let's say they do that. Let's say they even move it over here. I'm going to go like this. And I say, now I want you to select a card or select a packet from which you'll select a card. It doesn't matter, again, what they do. If they select a card from here, we'll work with that. And then they're going to put it back somewhere, right? If they put it back on here, which is where my 3 of clubs is, I'm just going to cut the deck and put my 3 of clubs right on top of their chosen card, and we're working with the key card, right? What if they don't? What if they decide, remember my key card's here, what if they decide to put it here? No problem. Let's go like this and bury your card. I've just put my key card on top of their card. Wherever they decide to go with this, let's see, what was it? It was that one. So wherever they decide to go with this, their chosen card here is a Jack of Hearts in this case, okay? I know I'm just keeping track of where to put this. So if they want to put it on top of here, I'm going to bury it like this. If they want to put it on top of here, I'm going to bury it like this. Either way, I'm going to get that key card on top of their chosen card. That's all that matters. But it's just confusing because we're doing all this in a good way. I mean, it's confusing so that they can't keep track of anything. So let's just say they do that. Let's go back to where we were. Here's my key card in the middle now. These, let's say they go like this and say, okay, let's just bury that, boom. And now how do you want to reassemble the deck? Again, it doesn't matter. As long as we don't shuffle into it, and we don't offer that option, say which one should go on top. This one, okay, and then where should this go? On top of that one? Great, we're good. We're all done. And we're just back to a key card principle. Now what I like to do is do a ribbon spread. And as I'm doing the ribbon spread, I'm usually going to pick up, boom, I just picked it up right there. I'm looking for the 3 of clubs, remember. So as I'm spreading, I can very quickly see where my 3 of clubs is. And I don't even have to immediately see the Jack of Hearts yet, because I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to turn away, and I know approximately where it is because I know where my 3 of clubs is. I'm turning away now, look at your card, and then when I come back, I can do another quick glance and I can see now what it is, and I'm just going to rub my hand. I'm acting like I'm not looking at the deck, and I'm really not. I just glanced a couple of times just to pick up the card, and just make a big deal about I'm looking away, I'm looking at you, I'm just using some sensing, I'm sensing heat. It's somewhere in the middle here, and obviously you just play it up the way you want, drop your hand on it and go. I think you're thinking of this is a court card, it's a red card, it's a high card, yeah, it's a Jack of Hearts, there we go. Okay, so however you do the revelation doesn't really matter. That's actually it does matter because that's the part that's entertaining. But from the mechanics of it, it's super easy to get there because they have no idea that you're keeping track of one card amongst all these piles with all of this shuffling happening. And you don't even know what your key card's going to be until the shuffling's over. That's another thing that makes it fair. So you can get all the cards shuffled, and then you just do a quick peek. I'm ready to go. I got a key card now at the bottom of that deck. In my case, it's the King of Hearts. They're going to split it into 3. I'm going to keep track of that, whichever card they end up picking, right? Wherever they put it. Okay, if they decide to put it there, okay, let's bury it. Boom. Let's bury it. Boom. We're done. It's that easy. Again, just a key card principle, but in a more convoluted way. And it really, really makes it more mysterious, okay? So have fun with that one. Just another good key card trick, but a great way to do it. Feel the heat. When did it wrong. I gotta do it again. So stupid.